faith. But I'm going to be looking at the faith, the parts of this chapter, which normally don't get talked about. But God has been, I've said it a lot the last couple of weeks, I've said this a lot. And this astounded me when I actually seen it was in Hebrews 11. And some of you may think, oh, we're just before and switched off. Don't. If there's a reason I'm saying it again, it's because you didn't get it the first time. Hebrews 11, verse 30. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell after the people had marched around them for 7 days. Verse 35. Others were tortured and refused to be released so that they may gain a better resurrection. Do you imagine telling how new Christians are these days? You may get tortured. It's up to you if you want to become a Christian. Well, I don't become a Christian. But these people refused to be released. We don't even know they are. Some faced jeers and flogging, while others were chained and put in prison. Now this is I'm not going to focus on this, but this really spoke to me this morning about what I just said. They were stoned, they were sawn in two. They were sawn in two. You imagine telling a new convert in a couple of weeks, you may be sawn in two. You will see what it does. Unless something had really settled in them, unless they got the truth about who Jesus is, unless they got the truth about to live is Christ, but to die is gain. See, it's all well and good saying these words, and memorizing these words, and believing these words, until you're lying on a plank and someone's going to saw you in half. And all you've got to do is renounce your faith. Say you don't believe in God anymore, and we won't saw you in two. These people took joy in being sworn in two. That's why the passion of the Christ was to suffer. Are we passionate Christians this morning? Are we passionate Christians? See, because there is suffering. There is suffering. We're not going to deny the fact that there's no suffering. But we're going to take a walk through this because I want to show you the other side of suffering and what comes through suffering. So, let's concentrate on our first bit. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell. By faith. Nothing else. Not because, they had these big battering rams, not because the tanks came in, not because the bombers came in. By faith. They seen a wall, they seen this big wall, and by faith, it fell down. Now, let's go and have a look at the actual story. Not a story, I don't like the word story, the passage, which is in Joshua chapter 6. I'm not going to read it all. Like I said before, that's your job when you get home. If kids got off school, homework, so be it. Do you know what really excited me this morning, right? I've just said, it says by that when the trumpet sounded, and we had a trumpet solo, oh, I tell you what, and you run up on stage and kiss them. See what I mean? God didn't prompt them to do a trumpet solo, knowing what I didn't prompt them to do a trumpet solo, knowing what I was going to speak on. But yet God did. And we had a taste of what the trumpet sounds like. And I was like, come on. The first thing I want to say before I get to this passage is, right, every morning without fail I come in here and I'll have a praise and worship. And if you live anywhere within a 6-mile radius, you probably hear it. Because it's so loud, my ears will bleed. But I think, fab, I'm in the presence of God, I don't care how loud it is, the angels are singing with me prayer. And on a day like today, right, see the sun is starting to come around. Now see, on the early morning prayer meetings, sometimes the tables are up for the school kids. And people will start on our table, and then they move to that table, then they move to that table, then that table, then they come back again, trying to avoid the sun, because it keeps, the hands falling like that. Can't see. And do you know God really spoke to me about that? He said, there are people who are trying to shine my light on who keep moving. And I just want them to stay still. Instead of like, oh, I can't see. Just, do you know what I do? When the sun is out like this, right? I look for the sun, right? And I just stand there and I do this. Oh yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
Right, look at that.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Because I can feel warm.
Yeah.
I can see the light. And you know what? I follow the light.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in the dark bit. I follow the light. So when people are moving away from the light, I'm following the light. Because that there is the best place to be.
Yeah, praise God.
It's just, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the warmth. Thank you for the heat. Thank you for the light. I'm living in the light. You know, my world might be in darkness at the minute, but at this very moment in time, I'm standing in the light. Oh, Lord, thank you. And that's why I get upset when we don't rainy days. Because I don't get enough of the sun. And I just believe that is so relevant to people here this morning. God is saying, for goodness sake, stop moving. Stop trying to avoid it. Stop trying to, because you can't see. Don't worry about if you can see or can't. Just trust God. Just soak in the sun. Tell you what, the sun has got healing properties. I know that from when I had a crash. You know, when I had my broken ribs, right? I couldn't move, but just to lie on the bed like that, with the sun coming in through the window, on my back, I can actually breathe now. Oh, so nice. And if that sun's got healing qualities, what's the Son of God about? Anyway, where was I? All right, guys. Joshua chapter 6. I'm just going to pick out a couple of verses, right? And we'll walk through them. So we'll start at verse 8, halfway down, where it says, blow in their trumpets, and the ark of the Lord's covenant followed them. Blow in their trumpets. Blow in their trumpets, and now the ark contained the presence of God. So the first thing I learned to do, right, is these people are marching with the trumpet at the front, right, and the presence of God is following. So why is it we stand quiet when we got the presence of God around us? See, what happens is we come along life's journey, and in front of us stands the walls of Jericho, and we do this. I don't know good. But I'm going to get on that one. And that stands right in the way of me wanting to get past. I don't like the look of that. But we walk by faith, not by sight. So we got to realize that the trumpet is sounding. Do you know what a trumpet is? It's you. It's you singing and praising God for everything He's doing, for everything He's done, and for everything He's about to do. It's you actually believing that no matter what's in front of you, God is bigger than that problem. God is bigger than anything that would come against you. He is able to deliver you. So instead of standing there moaning about this big problem that's in front of you, listen, when you start praising God, the presence of God comes in like that. The presence of God comes in. And it overtakes you. And that problem just knocks you out in the water. See,